Welcome to Lost Culture, your one-stop destination for everything pop culture. My name is Aston, and today we're going to do a review and a recap for Atlanta Season 1, Episode 9, Juneteenth. So in this episode, we get to see Earn and Van actually go to a party together. I really don't know what happened to them, but we see there's a lot of friction going on between these two in their relationship. Only thing I can think of what happened is back a few episodes ago when Van was going through Ern's phone and she seen the other girls in there. But besides that, we haven't really even seen Van at all on the show. Now, in this episode, we get to see Ern basically got a new girl. I don't know if it's a new girl or not, but we see he's there. We see Van picks him up from there. Obviously, Ern's not in a relationship where he didn't even give her a hug by now. He just gets a little hand joint. And it's crazy to see all that. Like, we get to see, like, she's obviously upset that she's picking him up from there. And she's super mad. Like, she just, like, bitchy for no reason. Like, she's been messing with other dudes. She go on dates with other dudes. Why is it such a problem that he's doing it? Now, going from there, they show up to the party and everything. And we see these two do not fit in this party, especially Ern. Van, she's as beautiful as ever. I can't even. Van, she's beautiful as ever. Like, we see she's in here with her friends. We see her friend's husband is throwing, like, it's actually his party. He's throwing the Juneteenth thing. We see it's, oh my God, like, this party is like, it's super pro-black, even though he's white. Like, it's super pro-black. I thought it was gonna be a joke he was gonna bring up about that, but we see he's cool with it. We see he makes the joke when the guy like, oh, I recognize you from the clubhouse, and Ern's like, I just don't think you don't recognize. He's like, oh, you got me confused with some other black guy. He's like, oh, make a little joke about it. You don't think Ern says no? Like, he doesn't think he can recognize him from other black people. And going through this party, we see there's so many different characters in the party. We see the pastor. I'm pretty sure the pastor was hitting on Van. Like, we see him talking about, oh, she wants a man who needs a new body, full money, take care of her. And we see his wife isn't really saying anything. We see Ern is already drunk. Van is already drunk by this point. She is not paying attention. Him and Van is. I love the chemistry, even though they're mad at each other. I love the chemistry of these two. They're just bouncing back off of each other. We see that they're working through like this whole party as a group just so Van can get a better connection in life. We see the funniest part to me though when they were talking to the old lady was flirting with Ern, poking him on his nose and everything, talking about the party, talking about the little play she wrote, produced, and everything. The two gangbangers had the strip club with hostages in it during Hurricane Katrina. And it was funny how Ern and Van just was joking about, like, oh, this is the story that needs to be this is so real. Like, there's just no standards in theater. You're bringing the standards back. And it was funny to see them doing that. And they didn't realize what they were doing. We see, the the poetry, like the Def Jam poetry session. We see the Jim Crow is the name of a man, but it's a ghost. And the husband is super extreme. And we see this whole time, like, Van is basically lying to everybody saying, like, Ern's her husband. Ern is a Yale graduate, well, an Ivy League graduate. And we know he's dropped out. I think it's pretty messed up that she really only brought him there so she could look better. She used him to, like, oh, I'm married to my daughter's father. We have a happy life together or whatever. And we see by the end of the party, it backfires. We see when Ern's talking to the woman, he's talking about how Van is the earner, Van, blah, 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 the kids and everything. And he does nothing. And he can never, like, it was like, obviously he's taking shots at her about everything that they argue about. And we see it actually gets to her. We see she cries, she runs off. And that's when she kind of had like the heart-to-heart moment with her friend. They're talking about being with someone that actually understands her, someone she can communicate with. And that's when her friend tells her, like, I stay with my husband because he pays the bills. He keeps me capped and everything. And she was like, he had the nerve to tell my 91-year-old grandmom that she was making greens wrong. And that was pretty funny because we see her husband is super pro-black. Even though he's not black, he's super pro-black. He's, what's the drinks the bartender had? slave master poison, whatever. And that was another thing that got to me when Ern was trying to get the drink. He was next in line. The little bartender went off on him. We seen the bartender wouldn't let him order anything that wasn't on the menu. And then it turns out this whole time he been giving people stuff that wasn't on the menu. I don't know if they tipped whatever, if they actually knew each other, but we see that happen. Now, obviously, like Van's friend husband likes Ern a lot. She even tells like everyone is talking about you too. Like, you're a hit with everybody around the party. Everybody are enjoying you too, and which is cool. We see which is cool until we see Paperboy. A couple of Paperboy fans actually, Paperboy fans, yeah, they actually sneak into the party. They see Ern, and they're basically trying to give Ern like their sister's numbers, their sister's underwear, and hook their sisters up with Paperboy. I didn't see anybody try to pass a demo or anything, but it was like, oh, and we see Ern and Van trying to play it off like blah blah blah. Like, this isn't us, and it turns out that the old boy at the party, he was very big like Paperboy fan. That's where he recognized Ern from. He knew about the shooting. He's been following him from underground and everything. He's telling about how music has been stripped away from the black culture and everything. And obviously Ern's not trying to hear it. Ern's like, yeah. And it was funny because even when Ern was mad at him, he's like, look, man, stop being so likable. Stop it. I want to be angry at you. I'm trying to tell you your party is stupid. And dude's like apologizing too. Like, stop apologizing. That's the issue. You're too likable, which is funny because he really was really likable. Like, I liked how he was actually really genuine about how he feels. And it was cool like to see that, even though like it's always people you're mad at, and honestly you're mad at them because of you, not really at them. Like, it's something like inside of you that makes you mad at them, and they're trying to apologize. And it's just like, I understand, like it's really not you that I'm mad at, and we get to see that. So in this episode, that's really all that happened. We have to see by the end of the episode, Ern and Van actually makes up. I don't know if he's truly made up or what, but we see that Ern is drunk. Not Ern, but Van is drunk. She's all over Ern. She's asking to pull over and they make it, and that's where the episode ends at. But even within the episode, I felt like they got that connection again, and they seen everything else that was going on, and that's really all that happened this episode. Oh, another thing about Van's friend, like when the waiters weren't really smiling and everything, she told like, oh, this is a party, not an orphanage. Like stuff like that was pretty flagrant and everything. So I'm just glad that these two got back. It seemed like by the end of the episode, they got back to a better place than they were at the beginning episode. And I was glad to see that. But this week, I got to give the Atlanta Move of the Week to Ern. He had his baby moms pick him up from his side chick house. And it don't get no more Atlanta than that. Like, it does not get any more Atlanta than that. So that's what we got for this episode. My pluses was I like how to see that the Van and Ern were the outcasts, and they weren't really buying like that. It was like a super pro black like type of party, but they were still themselves the whole time. They didn't like buy into all the pro black stuff just to fit in. They stayed themselves the whole times. They let them know that they thought it was crazy, all the pro black stuff, and it was cool just to see that. Like, not like it's okay to be pro black, but you don't have to push it onto other people. And even like the church stuff, I hate when people push all the church stuff. And it's funny when she was just telling them like, oh, we don't want to be super, we don't have time for church right now, and things of that nature. And for my downside of this episode, I wish they would have showed what transpired between these two to get them to the point that they were at the beginning of the episode. Now, besides that, it was still a really good episode. I laughed my ass off a couple times in this episode. And I can't wait for the season finale next week. I'm kind of upset there's only 10 episodes, 30-minute show. But it's always next season to pick up from. And as always, so you can follow us on Instagram at Lost_Culture TV. Oh, I'm sorry. You can follow us on Twitter at Lost_Culture TV. Follow us on Instagram at lost_culture, or you can follow me on Instagram at Saint_Aston. And as always, leave your thoughts and your opinions inside the comment section. Like, subscribe to the channel, and as always, stay lost. Atlanta Season 1, Episode 7. So this episode is pretty funny. So in this episode, at the beginning, we get to see Manel actually escapes. We see